It's no good, to be honest. Alright, cheers, man.
No worries.
It's looking a million times better than it did already. Oh, that's a nerve-wracking job. I've decided to accept defeat. Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes and today I'm going to be spending a little bit more time on Esther, my ST170 powered Mk1 Escort. I've got some bits to fit, some bits to remove as well, and I'll explain all about that when I get to my other garage. First, I want to send a massive thanks out to everyone who has been offering me advice lately, not only on the cars, but also on the settings for my new camera. You may have noticed in the last video that the picture quality was a bit better, and I'm hoping that in this video, the audio is also going to be improved. I have now decided to not bother using this media mod. Now, it's great, but the microphones on it are very directional, and you can only have one of them activated at a time. So it means that if you're standing on the opposite side to whichever microphone you've got switched on, it's very muffled. So unless you're willing to stop recording and switch in the settings which mic is active, it's no good, to be honest. Now, obviously, one of the reasons that I was using the media mod was for in windy conditions, because it comes with this screen that is obviously supposed to cut out wind noise. But I have actually found another solution for wind noise. So I'll just switch over to my old camera, and as you can see on the new camera, I've now got these stick-on fluffy things. Now, I learnt about these on a YouTube video recently, and on that video, he done a test, and these little fluffy things were actually better than the media mod with its screen anyway. And I know Grant on the Salvage Flippers channel has recently started using these as well. Hopefully, these are going to mean that the audio is going to be consistent, regardless of what side of the camera I'm facing. And hopefully the little fluffy things will cut out any wind noise. Now, before I leave, I want to show you these super cool stickers that I recently purchased from Mk1 Mitch. Yeah, really happy to put my hand in my pocket to show a little bit of support to Mk1 Mitch, because he's a top bloke and he makes some seriously cool content. So if you haven't done so already, definitely go and check out his channel, and I'll leave a link to it in the description of this video. Now, with all that being said, it's time to hit the road and head down to my other garage.
Yeah, one other thing that I don't like about the media mod is that whenever you need to change the battery on the GoPro, you need to take the GoPro out of the media mod, and when you've got it on a stand, that means you've got to take it off the stand before you can get the camera out of the media mod. So yeah, it's really annoying. So without the media mod attached, I can change the battery while it's still attached to the stand.
Right, so I've made it to the garage, and I've got possibly the two most hated old school Ford Escorts on the internet lined up together. Obviously Esther is looking pretty sorry for herself now that I've stripped the front end, but it's all for a good cause. There's soon going to be getting this damage repaired on her front panel. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I've got some bits that I'm going to be removing from Esther today, but I'm going to start by fitting some new parts to her. And here they are. Now, I showed you guys this at Christmas, and I know most of you knew what it was. It is, of course, a new steering wheel. And it's actually the same brand as the steering wheel that I've got currently fitted to Maud. Now, these steering wheels are ridiculously cheap, but in my experience, they are very strong. Yeah, you can pick these steering wheels up for less than 40 quid. I've had this one fitted to Maud for a couple of years now, and I drive her every day, and she gets loads of abuse, and yeah, it has held up to the abuse really well. The leather, or fake leather, is starting to wear, but considering how long this steering wheel has been on the car and how cheap it is, yeah, it has lasted really, really well. Now, I've gone for this sort of suede material with Esther's steering wheel. Obviously won't be driving Esther quite as much as I drive Maud, so, you know, hopefully this stuff will last. But, you know, with these steering wheels being so cheap, even if I have to replace it every couple of years, I'm not bothered. Also, with the suede ones, you get a single marker on here, whereas the one that's fitted to Maud, you get the two, which I don't really like. I would have preferred to get a blue marker here, but the only steering wheel that these guys do with a blue marker also has the anodized blue center, and I really wanted a black one, so I went with this. I don't know if there's any sort of paint I can use to change this to blue. If any of you guys know of a type of paint that I can use to change that marker to blue, do let me know in the comments. Now, to fit this steering wheel to Esther, I've gone and got myself a billet steering wheel boss. On Maud's one, it's actually got loads of holes in it, but yeah, they don't do a Mk1 one with loads of holes in it. I think this is actually a Rick's engineering item. I know that this one definitely is. And yeah, these bosses are really, really sturdy. Billet aluminium, as I said. Now, the steering wheel that's currently fitted to Esther is one that I always wanted to fit, and it's this spring elect style one. And unfortunately, these just ain't up to all the abuse of drifting and stuff. I've actually had to repair this steering wheel on all 3 spokes. It basically came unattached from the ring, and when the first spoke went, obviously without stripping and recovering the steering wheel, you can't really re-weld these, so I used aaaand, and then believe it or not, when I repaired one with aaaand, the other 2 actually broke before the aaaand did. But yeah, eventually even one of my aaaand bodges broke. This one is loose. So yeah, these steering wheels just, they're not up to the abuse. Obviously this is a replica spring elect steering wheel. I know back in the day the rally cars had an actual genuine spring elect steering wheel, which I'm guessing are a bit stronger, but yeah, unfortunately these steering wheels just can't handle all the drifting, whereas these STR ones do seem to be able to. So right, so I just tried to put this boss on this spare Mk1 steering column shaft that I had, and it does actually go on. Maybe the powder coating in there is making it a bit tight, or just because it's new. So I'm going to try again fitting this to Esther, but I'll use a bit of grease and try and tap it on. Alright, so there she is. Steering wheel's on, looks pretty cool. I probably will attach this to the steering wheel at some point. Might put like an MH sticker on there or something. But yeah, really like the look of that steering wheel actually. Just wish that that was blue instead of yellow. Alright, so Rob has actually brought his hammer and dolly round today, and he's gonna make a start on sorting this dent out. Now I do want to remove the bonnet, and while Rob's here to give me a hand, we'll crack on with that.
Nice and solid again. I can neaten up this bit, ain't a problem. It's this bit I want to get right. Now, if I put a chisel on there, I've got a gap, it bows out. I want to take this in still, I think. But I sit there and I'll keep playing with it until I'm happy.
Yeah, as you can see, with Rob's magic touch, it's looking a million times better than it did already. Alright, cheers man.
No worries.
Can't wait for you to get it done properly. Right, so after chatting to Rob about cars for the last hour, I need to crack on before I run out of light. Now I mentioned in my last video that I'm planning to get the rocker cover on this ST170 engine powder coated black, and a guy called Mick reached out to me who, along with his son Oliver, own a company called S.B.C in County Durham, and they do wet painting and powder coating, and he actually offered to powder coat Esther's rocker cover for absolutely free. So yeah, massive thanks to Mick and Oliver. I'll leave links in the description of this video to their website or any social media accounts they have. Definitely get in touch with them if you're looking for any powder coating, and definitely let them know I sent you. Now annoyingly it's starting to rain, but I'm going to quickly whip off Esther's rocker cover so that I can send it to Mick and Oliver. Speed this up a bit. I'm going to temporarily fit this rocker cover to Esther's engine. This will be going on Maud's new ST170 engine, and this was actually hydro dipped for me by a guy called Kieran, who runs a YouTube channel called Little Red Fiesta. Now if you haven't checked out his channel, now's a good time to do so, because he's very soon going to be starting his Z-Tech turbo engine up for the very first time that he's got fitted to his Mk1 Fiesta. So I'll leave a link to his channel in the description as well. Yeah, annoyingly it's starting to hail. Really hope it passes without getting too heavy, because I've got some more bits that I want to remove from Esther before I leave here today. Now what I'm planning to do is actually get all the chrome stuff redone. So the wipers, the wing mirrors, the door handles, and also these chrome pieces around the rear lights. So I would like to get all those bits removed today. I think I'm going to start with this passenger side door handle. Without a door handle in there, I won't be able to lock the car and reopen it. I've only got a spare one for the passenger side, so if I remove this one and fit this one, I can put the car in the garage front ways, and then I'm still able to lock the car and open the door. Now the door handles are just held on with 2 screws. There's one there, and there's one inside there, and then there's a rod inside that basically hooks onto this bit, which operates the latch to open the door. Oh, that's a nerve-wracking job. Take the lock out. Should be a bit easier now. The lock out of the way. Got to put the gaskets on. Right, so I'm going to whip the wing mirror off next, which I think is just 2 10mm bolts inside. And just stick the light mod in the bottom of the door. And that's the only downside to not using the media mod actually, because the media mod has a little slot to stick the light mod onto. And to remove the chrome trim on these rear lights, I need to remove the light units themselves. We've got one nut there and one nut on that bracket there. I'm going to remove the rubber seal. I can reveal the screws that hold the chrome trim to the lights. Alright, next up we've got the wipers. It's going to be hard for me to show you, but basically there's a little clip thing there. Just need to pry that, and then these just pull off. So there we have it. That's all the bits, or one of each of the bits that I'm going to be getting the chrome redone on. And it's going to get dark very soon, so I'm going to run around the car and get the other one of each piece off, and I'll chat to you afterwards. All the bits are now removed and it is pitch black. Now I'm going to need to dismantle all these parts into individual pieces before I can get the chrome redone. I'm probably going to crack on with that tomorrow, so I'll see you in a couple of seconds. Hello, right, into the next day, and I've got all the chrome parts laid out on the table here at home. Some of these bits are going to need dismantling before I can send them off to have the chrome redone. Obviously these parts won't, so I'll move them out of the way. Yeah, these are the chrome surrounds for the reverse lights. I don't think I mentioned those yesterday. Looks like these door handles have just got a circlip inside there, and they've got a pin with a clip on here to dismantle that bit. And there's a spring in there as well. It doesn't look like this piece here is sided. Don't have any needle nose pliers here, but I'm going to use these circlip pliers to get this clip off, hopefully. It's not going to work. And now you can see the circlip inside there. Oh, there we go. So yeah, that's obviously spring loaded. So that's it there. So yeah, I'll just send the handles and the buttons off to get done. Might see if I can get my zinc plater to do the rest of the bits. Might as well while it's all in bits. Alright, so that's both handles dismantled. Now I'm going to crack on with the mirrors. So if I just unscrew this glass bit, which is just on a threaded bar, it's got this sort of plastic seal between the two halves, and that threaded bar screws into this little threaded thing in the other end. I'm not sure how to get this glass bit off of here. I wonder if that's bonded in. That wouldn't be good. I don't know if that's another sort of plastic seal similar to this, or whether that's some sort of glue. Yeah, it is a seal. So I'll push that in. You can see it there. And the glass comes out, and there's just this plastic sort of pad behind it, which is on top of a little spring. So yeah, I don't need to send this bit off. I just need to get these two pieces in half. I'm doing this nut here. Now, these bullet mirrors are notorious for being absolutely useless in terms of actually being able to see anything when you mount them to an Escort, but I actually modified mine so that they are actually usable. So basically I changed the angle of these two pieces and actually made the mirrors usable. The passenger side one I had to modify more extremely. I'll just get the passenger side one apart now and I'll show you how extreme I had to go with the modification with that one. And before I take the passenger side one apart, as you can see, I had to have the mirror on, you know, it's really extreme adjustment as well as modifying it to make it work. Right, so here's the two halves of the passenger side mirror. So that would have sat like that. And if you look in there, you can see that I've really ovaled the hole where this nipple goes into because I needed to, you know, adjust it that much. And I just had a load of araldite in there holding it together as well as the bolt that screws into there. So originally that would have been like that, whereas I needed it to be sort of like that. Also on the passenger side, I had to dent in this area. That was to create more angle this way to sort of get the mirror to tuck in more. And as I say, I still have to have the adjustment so that it angles the mirror as much that way as it'd go. So yeah, if you've got a set of bullet mirrors, they can be made to work, but yeah, it's a lot of messing around. So yeah, that's both mirrors apart now. So just like the other side, these three pieces will get sent off. So now that brings me on to the wiper arms. Yeah, got a spring in here so that this joint is spring loaded, and there's just one rivet here. I have to measure the length of that, and one rivet in there. If I drill this one out first, or should I get the spring off first? Alright, so I've decided to accept defeat with the wiper arms. They're not in that bad nick anyway, to be honest. They're just a bit dull, so I'll just try and spruce them up in another way. Because, yeah, they don't really seem to want to come apart. And I've already injured myself trying. But all the other pieces are now ready to go and have the chrome redone. So we've got the rear light surrounds there, reverse light surrounds, two door handles and their buttons, and then the wing mirrors. So yeah, I'm going to get all these pieces sent off in the next few days, and I'll get all these little pieces here from the door handles and stuff to my zinc plater to get those freshened up. And I'm going to give Esther's rocker cover a quick clean and send that off to Mick and Oliver at S.B.C. Massive thanks again to the guys at S.B.C for agreeing to powder coat Esther's rocker cover. I can't wait to get it back and bolt it back onto her engine. So that's all I've got for you for this video. If you did think it was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, click subscribe to keep up to date with all my future uploads, and check the links in the description to my social media and my website. I'll also leave links to S.B.C down there if any of you guys need any powder coating doing, and I'll leave my email address down there for anyone who wants to contact me. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.